Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this wonderful Wednesday here in Connecticut. Life's good, campers. Life is good. All right? Anyway, let's get right to it. If you can see the sun coming in my window, it's going to be 65 degrees out there, man. And I want to be on that bike. All right? Case closed. I already did an hour this morning. I want to do another hour this afternoon. Anyway, when your slurs get stuck. All right? Now, you saw the pictures of Vizzuti and all that sort of stuff. He's the king of flexibility. Oh, yeah. Little pinched above G or something, whatever. That's not what we're talking about. The flexibility is otherworldly. Anyway, I am going to demonstrate page 12, number 59, key of G in the Clark Technical Studies. All right? We'll play some high notes first, and then we'll get to it. Bodes well. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Clark, key G. Not an impediment in there anywhere. Up an octave, you say. Life's good. I had played a lot today. That's not the first notes of the day. Okay, so what's happening when your slurs get stuck? This happens all the time with my students, all the time, okay? And specifically, that part of the Clark book, okay? Now, as I told you, I can't stand the Clark book anymore, but it is great teaching tool. I use it all the time teaching. Now, I don't practice that. That's just there, all right? Anyway. Where were we? Yes. What's happening? All I'm doing is spit buzzing and putting the mouthpiece out. Now, every single time I have somebody spit buzz that slurred passage, it never gets stuck. There's no impediment there. No. Trust me, that is what Vizzuti is feeling. That little buzz right there at the tip of his lip, he is manipulating that buzz. Octaves, that's all there is to it. You are spit buzzing and you're putting the mouthpiece on. Trust me, that's what he's doing. Now, he may not even know he's doing it, guys, and I don't know him. I never met him. But he talks about his wedge tongue and all this sort of stuff. The tip is behind the bottom teeth. Now, Jerry and I used that for about 6 months and decided we'd get better production with it against the bottom lip. But it was quite successful. So if that's what he's doing, that's right. We definitely not overblowing. And for the most part, until he gets into the extremes, his corners are relaxed. So that's what it's come from. That's all he's doing. That's all he's feeling. Octaves, doesn't matter. Okay? Now, what is happening when we get stuck? Here's the deal. We start with our corners relaxed. All of a sudden, it gets to this slurring stuff where we're not using the tongue. I'll get back to that in a second. We're not using the tongue all of a sudden. What do? We go back to days gone by and we resort to violence and we start stretching. Okay? Now, the stuck part is you are betwixt in between relaxing and stretching. If you started out tight and stretched, those would probably pop right out. But when you get stuck, When you stretch too much or something, that gets stuck. But that's what's happening with us true power guys. You can't control it with the corners. And by just a little bit of tension in the corners, you've lost your buzz in the middle. And there you are stuck. Okay? So what do we do about it? Simple. Guys, slurring can mask a multitude of sins. Slurring can mask a multitude of sins. You hear guys warming up before a gig, and they just sound like world beaters. All of a sudden, it's time to articulate something. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Oh, they went to the bathroom? Okay, I'll take the front lead. Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. Okay? But when you got the tongue, guys, that is your support. And I'm going to say 99% of my students, especially in the upper register, feel more secure tonguing up there instead of slurring, which is exactly opposite of everybody else. All right? Now, what happens is when you're doing that Clark study, all of a sudden you're not tonguing anymore and you lose your grip a little bit. And then you have to resort to corners, you get stuck, blah, blah, blah. So what do? Very, very simple. Guys, you go back to your happy zone. You go back to where you were playing correctly. So you play the exact same exercise, but tongue it. Doesn't have to be fast. You spit buzz it first, then you tongue it in the trumpet, then you say, okay, now slur it. Boom. It pops right out. If it doesn't sound like Vazzuti, it's much better. It's not stuck. It might be clumsy. You might overshoot some notes. You might, cack a few things, but it's not getting stuck. That's what you've done. You go back to where you're playing correctly, and you work from there. Okay? That's your happy zone. Guys, you have to teach yourself to play correctly. You have to. And when you get off, you have to go back to the basics. Spit buzzing, tonguing, taking it slow, but it will pop right up. But keep it in mind, guys, just about anything you do. If you're playing a high A and you can't play a double C, you're too tight. If you're throwing a baseball 90 miles an hour and you can't throw it 93, you're too tight. If you're hitting a golf ball 250 and for the life of you can't hit it 260, you're too tight. Now, what got you to that point? Well, therein lies the challenge. Okay? But at the end of the day, tight corners, if you're not overblowing and your tongue's in the right place, and you're tightening your corners. Get rid of the tension, everything else falls into place. All right? Manipulate that little buzz, and the world is yours, Chico, and everything in it. All right? All right. Talk again. Love you.